Hello everyone, I'm Sachi. There is a legend in my hometown that is well known throughout the area. Once upon a time, there was a farmer named Denbei. He was worried that his crops would wither if the drought continued. And then he saw a snake. Denbei casually said, "Hey snake, please make it rain. If you do, I will give one of my 3 daughters to you in marriage." The snake seemed to listen to him and quickly slithered away. Denbei thought it was a foolish thing to say as the snake couldn't possibly make it rain and left the place. That night, however, it began to rain, and heavily at that. Denbei and his family were overjoyed to see rain for the first time in a long while. Then, despite the downpour, someone came to visit Denbei's house. When he opened the door, a dignified young man stood there and said, "I've come to marry your daughter, as you promised." Denbei was shocked and asked if the man was the snake he had spoken to earlier. The young man replied, "Yes, I am." The snake had indeed granted Denbei's wish. As promised, Denbei had to give one of his daughters in marriage to the snake. He asked his eldest daughter to marry the snake, but she cried and refused. The second daughter did the same. Then, the third daughter offered herself as a bride, saying, "I will go and marry him." The young man who had been in human form took the third daughter as his wife and transformed back into a large serpent. He carried her with him upstream to a pond deep in the mountains, where they lived together in peace and quiet. This is a story my grandmother used to tell me when I was little. Everyone in the area, especially the older generation, knows the legend of the large serpent. When I was a child, I loved hearing this story, and even now, I believe it's true. Now that I know Denbei's descendants are still alive and well, I can't help but believe in it even more. The pond where the large serpent settled down with Denbei's daughter is called Yashagaike, and the third daughter who married him is known as Princess Yasha. Yashagaike is located deep in the mountains of my home village. I've been there several times and the water is clear, giving the pond a unique and mysterious atmosphere. There is a rumor about Yashagaike that the weather worsens on days when women visit the pond. It's said that Princess Yasha gets jealous. The first time I went there, I was with some of my mom's friends. And sure enough, the weather wasn't great. But I don't like to think of Princess Yasha as jealous. She was a wonderful woman who offered herself to marry a large serpent, after all. Maybe she was sad that day. Her tears became rain, and the fog that covered the pond hid her crying. That fits the legend of Princess Yasha better, don't you think? How mysterious and captivating Yashagaike is, even when the mist hides the full view. It's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen, and a scene I'll never forget. Although I visited Yashagaike several times, I never realized there was a shrine dedicated to Princess Yasha on our way there. This was my first time visiting it. According to the villagers, people from the town used to come here to offer cosmetics to the shrine. I wondered why they offered cosmetics, but perhaps it was in honor of Princess Yasha. There are several other local legends related to the Yashagaike story. My hometown is rich in old legends and songs surrounded by the abundance of nature. I think that's how closely the people who have lived here for generations have been connected to nature. The more I learn about Ibi, the more I realize what fascinating town it truly is. I would love to visit Yashagaike again soon, but since it involves a lot of climbing, it's hard to find someone to go with me, and it takes a bit of courage to go alone. I hope I can introduce Yashagaike to you someday. Yashagaike is beautiful on its own and still attracts visitors, but the view of the mountains from there is also breathtaking. Are there any legends in your town? I'd love to hear stories from your area. Please share them with me in the comments. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you next time. I upload videos every Saturday. If you enjoyed this, please consider subscribing. Thank you.